Good day, everybody. This is Ken Camilleri from New York City Clean Heat. You've now signed on to our first webinar, Everything You Need to Know About New York City Clean Heat. We will be talking through an agenda of a couple of slides, as you can see, which will be very informative about the program, some regulation and compliance timelines, talking a little bit about target fuels, and some upcoming events. The program, New York City Clean Heat, is committed to educating individuals and organizations and to facilitating the process of switching to cleaner heating fuels. In these webinars, that will take place periodically to cover the various aspects of conversions, from planning to financing to construction. And as the webinar series continues, we hope that you share these invitations with your colleagues so that everyone can comply with the regulations efficiently and effectively. This is really important for us to touch as many people as possible. We are inviting all those that we know and have reached, touched, and have spoken to, but it would be great for everybody else to share these with your fellow colleagues and or friends and board members. We have contact information, our website, or I should say our email, info@NYC.gov, or call 311 and ask for New York City Clean Heat. I will be addressing our website further on in this webinar. The Greater New York PlaNYC manual that has the Clean Heat program within focuses on 3 topics, very important topics: air quality, energy and climate change. Our air quality is to achieve the cleanest air of any big U.S. city. Our energy, which is also important, reduce energy consumption and make our energy systems cleaner and more reliable. And of course, the most important topic is our climate change, reduce our greenhouse gas emissions by more than 30%. I would think that, and it's pretty much positive, that New York City is one of the largest cities that is still burning number 6 fuel oil. So it's very important for us to make this change and make our air cleaner to breathe. The need to eliminate heavy heating oil. Eliminating number 6 and number 4, heavy heating oil, is one of the highest impact strategies we can undertake to improve New York City's air quality. In 2008-2009, the Department of Health conducted a New York City community air survey at 150 monitoring sites citywide. The map to the right shows the results of the amount of density of PM 2.5 that was viewed during the winter that the study was taking place. PM is particulate matter, and the 2.5 is the actual size of the sulfur byproduct of the flue gas, along with other heavy metals that are very detrimental to our health. And then, of course, the impacts of the heavy oil. The neighborhoods with the highest densities of this heavy heating oil had PM 2.5 levels that were 30% higher on average than neighborhoods with lower densities. There is quite a difference. The problem, the fine particulate matter emissions, PM 2.5, are a leading public health threat in New York City. This whole program is based on health and cleaning the air, making it easier for us to breathe and live and play. Annually is responsible for about 3,000 deaths, 2,000 hospitalizations, and about 6,000 ER visits for asthma. And although 1% of New York City buildings burn heavy heating oil, which is number 4 and number 6, this equates to more soot pollution than all of the New York City's cars and trucks combined. So that would be something to kind of visualize, and taking all the cars and trucks off the street. And that's what you'd be reducing the emission by. What's the solution? Achieve a 50% reduction of PM 2.5 emissions from the use of heavy heating oil by the end of 2013. That would be our main goal. Health impacts of this reduction render annual results of approximately 120 lives saved and 250 ER visits prevented. Our goal: to reduce the fine particulate matter emissions from the use of heavy heating oils by 50% by the year end of 2013. How can you help? Convert your number 4 and number 6 burning building to the cleanest heating fuel available to you, which are ultra-low sulfur number 2, natural gas, biodiesel, or steam. Program progress. Buildings participating in New York City Clean Heat have already reduced PM emissions by over 72 metric tons from our goal of 370 metric tons. To the right, you'll see what our projected participation is and where we are as far as goal. And what we've done is identified certain levels of activity going with different shades, and those are to be identified, complete, in construction, and inquiry. So we have a lot of work to do. And this area here that's been identified is what we have to identify and what we need to change. Technical assistance. New York City Clean Heat has hired a staff, and we're available to guide buildings through the conversion process. New York City Clean Heat is working closely with utilities and industry leaders to help buildings save money and convert to the cleanest fuels. Within our website, which is nyc.gov/cleanheat, you can learn more about health impacts of heavy oil, clean conversion options, the conversion process, and when your building must convert, and more. Again, here's our email address and phone number. And something about our website, which is really interesting, is this fact: spot the soot. You can actually identify your building as a building that's burned in number 6. And what would be very interesting and very nice to know is that when you do convert, your dot comes off the map. So you're no longer identified as a building that is burning heavy heating oil. Timeline. Back in 2007, Mayor Bloomberg launched PlaNYC, including ambitious air pollution goals. April 2011, New York City Department of Environmental Protection passed regulation phasing out number 6 fuel oil and number 4 fuel oil. As you can see, by July 1st, 2015, no more number 6 will be able to be burned or permitted to be burned, and number 4 fuel oil by July 1st, 2030. In June of 2012, Mayor Bloomberg made an announcement at a press conference in the Bronx, which launched the program full-fledged. July 1st, 2012 to July 1st, 2015, buildings would no longer be able to permit for number 6 with DEP as the triennial certificates of operation expire. Any building that's burning a number 6 or any fuel, it has to go for permits, certificates of operation. DEP will no longer accept number 6 fuel oil permits after 2012. And of course, by 2015, everybody who has been permitted for number 6 will have to be off of number 6. And July 1st, 2030, all buildings must burn one of the cleanest heating fuels. In April of 2011, DEP finalized regulations that would eliminate heavy oil use in 2 phases to balance near-term health benefits with cost minimization for buildings. Phase 1, as of July 1st, DEP will no longer approve certificates of operation for number 6 fuel oil. And as these permits must be renewed every 3 years, number 6 fuel oil will be completely eliminated by 2015. In Phase 2, all buildings must convert to the cleanest fuels by 2030, or when replacing the boiler burner, whichever happens sooner. This is very, very important, and I think a lot of people, I know a lot of people don't understand this regulation. The feeling is that quick fix to get off of number 6 is to go to number 4. But if something occurs in the building's heating systems where a permit is required, the Department of Buildings will tell that building to go straight to number 2 and will not allow that building to go to number 4. So when making the choice, please consider the fact that you may have to end up doing it twice very near term. So this is very important. This is why it's very important to reach out to New York City Clean Heat and speak with one of the account managers that are working with the buildings. Target fuels. Ultra-low sulfur, number 2 fuel oil. As you can see from the picture, and if you look really closely, because I can see it, you'll see that number 6 is totally opaque. You can't even see through it. Where number 4, you could start to see the vial, and of course number 2 is clear. Number six is basically the bottom of the barrel sludge. Needs to be heated in order for it to be moved. Where number 4 is a mixture of 6 and 2, And sometimes it's, the ratios vary from 80-20, 60-40, where the higher number is the number 6 component. So that enables the number 2 to sort of dilute the number 6 portion of the fuel oil. The ultra-low sulfur number 2 fuel oil sulfur emissions have dropped from 2,000 to 15 ppm. And that was due also to different way of manufacturing the number 2 and also the addition of a biodiesel mix. It burns over 90% cleaner than number 4 and number 6 fuel oils. It reduces maintenance because it's so much cleaner. And the fuel prices across number 6, 4, and 2 have been flattening out over the past years. Very important to, again, realize this when making that choice of going to number 4, number 2. The biodiesel blend can make it even cleaner and cheaper fuel with additional tax credits. Natural gas. What you should know about natural gas. Con Edison and National Grid serves the 5 boroughs in New York City. Low commodity prices encourage a quick payback. But the Con Edison infrastructure, along with National Grid infrastructure, limits availability. Work with the Clean Heat staff to assist in mitigating upfront requests by utilities for required infrastructure upgrades. Plan your other local law projects as far as your conversions go. Scaffolding, greener, greater building information required, etc. Very important to know that once the scaffolding is up, it will hinder Con Edison's ability to install the service if one has been scheduled to be installed. So it's very important to work all of your projects with Con Edison and also with Clean Heat. Steps to conversion. First step, assess your target fuel. Look at Con Edison website to see if your building is listed as no cost. Contact New York City Clean Heat program for assistance. Second, obtain internal conversion costs. Work with a contractor, engineer, or plumber. Third, obtain necessary permits through the New York City Department of Environmental Protection and or the Department of Buildings. 4, project and construction. Contract activity begins. And 5, project complete. Emission reductions achieved and spot the sit map updated. It would be very nice to have all those buildings off that spot to sit map. Conversion timeline. Converting to ultra low sulfur number 2. As you can see, these are not finalized timelines, but just a feel to give everybody a feel for what it would take as far as time goes. Obviously, as you take your steps through the process, you'll see that it could be a 4 to 6 week conversion. And when you do notify Clean Heat, we can help assess your project, connect you to any needed resources, and ensure that your conversion is reflected on the spot to sit map. Very important to identify the proper steps. Converting to natural gas. You can see here that the process is a lot longer. What's important about this slide is that it shows the different steps. And if your triennial is coming up and you're running out of time, you need to know that you have to leave yourself at least 9 months worth of time for you to plan, apply for permits, solicit bids, and address all the utility requests, and then complete your construction. And in this specific spot, it's a crucial step to ensure that you are made aware of all the natural gas connection opportunities. We work with the utilities closely, as I mentioned earlier, so it's very important to reach out to us. It allows us to update our data as to the proposed particulate matter reduction, and it allows us to talk to you as far as letting you know what would be available as far as natural gas infrastructure and capacity. Financing your conversion. New York City Clean Heat assists in funding conversions by providing access to financing platforms. So visit the financing page in the nyc.gov /clean heat for more information. Sign up for information. The city is rolling out financing products and platforms for New York City Clean Heat on a rolling basis. So send an email to NYC Clean Heat account manager or at the website or at the email to get up-to-date NYC Clean Heat financing alerts. Consider other energy efficiency measures to get those incentives through either NYSERDA or other utilities. And visit the incentives and energy efficiency pages on the nyc.gov website. We do have an upcoming webinar that's going to be strictly financing. Upcoming events, September 12th would be a NIARM Real Estate Expo with topics, as you can see. And also with some of our upcoming NYC Clean Heat webinars, it would be how to select a target fuel that is right for you, obtaining and selecting construction estimates, NYC Clean Heat financing, construction, ultra-low sulfur number 2 in biodiesel, and construction natural gas conversions and chimney liners. Here is contact information again. Please use it. We're here to help. And with that, I say thank you very much for attending and hope to see you at our next webinar. Thank you.